Alright, today we are going to discuss about death, a topic that could be both a taboo and sometimes very sensitive to discuss, especially with friends and relatives. In this video, I'm going to share ideas of people from all over the world, from east to the west, and also some philosophies from the past. I want to start with Bhikkhu Analayo's ideas. He's a German Buddhist monk who learned most of his academics from Sri Lanka. He now teaches meditation. He says we try to use three strategies or three tactics to avoid the idea of death. One is simply avoid. Don't discuss about it, don't speak about it, don't stare at dead people. Tactics 2 is saying, not me. Someone else is dead, but it's not me. And tactics 3 is to say, not now. Acknowledging that I would be dead at some point in future, but it's not now. It's very far away. So he wants us to think about why we do this. So this brings the question, why do we have a subconscious fear on this idea of death and so much thoughts around what happens after death in a lot of philosophical studies? If you go to the East and read about what Confucius spoke about death, he was dismissive about this idea. He was not concerned with afterlife or any spiritual realm where souls would go after they die. His philosophy was, you have a life to live, follow the ethical practices and live your life, and that is all matters. If you turn to Hinduism to find about what they said, some of the theories say you will have birth after birth. You'll have to pay for all your sins and you'll also be rewarded for all your good deeds. Until eventually you balance this karma scale at a very flat level, you will not be able to escape this cycle of life and death again and again. But once you balance your karma scale, you will attain mukti and you will reach God. If you look at Buddhism, some of the teachings of Buddha, especially in Mahasatipatthana Sutta and other key teachings, my inference is Buddha says, yes, of course, you will be born again and again until you have let go of all your clingings to both material and non-material desires. Well, that's interesting. Both material and non-material desires. But once you learn to let go of all your clingings, once you learn to get away from your aversion for displeasure or dukkha, then you will reach nirvana. You will escape the karmic cycle. That was Buddha's teachings. While it's not a straight answer, it lets you ponder over what it really means. All right, I now move on to something that I found very interesting recently. This is from a speech of a philosophical entertainer from America, Alan Watts. He's no more now. I think he was popular in the 70s. He asks, why are you afraid? You'll go back to how things were before you were born. Are you afraid to think about the time before you were born? It could have been dark and blank, or it could have been colorless because you did not have consciousness to perceive colors. And it is likely that you did not feel any pain or any pleasure. Things would go back to just how you were before you were born, after you die. Well, that's very interesting and also not scary. Let me know what you think about what happens after death. Thank you.